Are dating apps dying?
If you ask single adults what dating is like right now,
I feel fatigued is probably a really good word.
they might say something like,
It's just so hectic right now, and it's really hard to find a genuine connection.
call it burnout or fatigue. More and more singles say they're fed up, especially when it comes to those apps.
It gets to a point where I'm like, okay, when are we meeting?
Are we pen pals?
Are we pen pals? Like, are you in jail? Like, I don't know. Like, where are you?
Relationship experts say they're hardly alone.
What's different for dating in this moment is that the sheer volume of rejection and disappointment is so much higher for daters than it has been in previous generations.
Between all the swipes, likes, taps, and DMs, almost 80% of singles say they experience some degree of emotional fatigue or burnout when dating online, which is why a growing number of people are choosing to take their search for love offline. Singles and dating events are seeing a 42% boost in attendance, including the comeback of speed dating events and potential meet cutes at run clubs.
Last time there were 30 people there, and look how many people there are now.
Meanwhile, some people are going even more old school.
Matchmaking is old. Like, it's ancient wisdom and modern love blended together.
So I saw this coming from a mile away. I'm not too surprised about this because when you actually look at dating apps, majority of dating apps, it's like the genders have two opposing problems. Like, men's problem is that they don't get enough matches. If they do get a match, it's probably a woman that they don't find desirable. Women get too many matches, but a lot of times it's too many. They're matching with too many people that they find undesirable with. And the guys they are matching with, they're running through so many women, it doesn't really matter. So it's like two people having two different, like, opposing problems. So it makes sense why people would go back to the normal. Because if you think about it, if you're going through a dating app, there's so many things that are unanswered from just a picture or a post. Like, just think about, like, when you read a post online, can you even really get that much from it?
Nope. No, this is a great segue to what I was thinking. I think that dating apps aren't bad. They just remove the opportunity to judge people on a variety of factors that are important in real life. Like the way someone smells, the way someone, like, just their mannerisms, their humor, just all these different subtleties that we pick up on when we're in person. Yeah. You don't get that online. Until, okay, maybe you go meet them for a date, but you only chose that person mainly off of looks. So in real life, the person who you may not have chosen first, you may actually give a chance because you are judging them more than off of just how they purely look, which can then lead to something that's a little more substantial versus superficial because, oh, he meets all my check boxes for physicality, but he's dense. Or she meets all my check boxes for physicality, but she's a super materialistic whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I like this whole idea about us moving back towards IRL.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think the way that dating apps are structured, I think they should be structured different for the genders. So, for example, I think if you made a new dating app, I think what they show women should be a little bit different than what they show men. Because it's shown that women typically go for more like personality, and of course they care about looks. But I think, like, if I were to design a dating app, I'd have the women's matches. I'd have the women put in stuff more about like their personality and the things that they like, and then their matches are based on that, and then the guys' matches are based off looks. So that way, you know, I feel like it'll be better sorted out. So that way, like, the girls wouldn't get as many matches with guys that they really don't click with. And I think it would just be a little bit better for guys because then, like, they're only matched with girls that have that certain kind of personality. Like I said, I'm just throwing that out there. I also think another big issue is, and this is what I think IRL, or in real life, whatever you want to call it, is really good. But I think if people don't meet earlier, they're going to run into the same problems. Because I think a lot of people's big problem with dating is that people are waiting to like the last stretch to start dating and then wondering why they're coming into so many problems because they're rushing the process. Like, if you're a person and you just start seriously dating at 28 or 30 years old, you're going to run into a lot of problems because you're rushing the process. Like, dating and finding someone to marry and take care of you is a long process and it shouldn't be rushed. I understand that there are some people that are like, you know, I want to hurry up and have kids and have a family and I want to get this done. But in America, we don't live in a culture where people are like raised and set up to do that. Yeah. From early on. So to the point, like, for example, if you were to go to another culture and it was traditional for them to get married and it was arranged, you'd be set up from day one so that way when it comes to that point for you to like arrange marriage or get something done, it's easy, it's seamless. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? But in America, we don't have a culture like that that's set up for people to like get married like that. You kind of have to do everything yourself. So it's gonna obviously be a lot longer process. So you can't meet someone for like 1 month or 3 months and then expect to get married in a year and expect it to work out mysteriously, like magically, and for it to be perfectly fine, because it's not set up that way. It's gonna take a while to get to know someone. So my thing is this, like, in real life is dope, but I think people should be doing in real life dating when they're like 21, when they're like 18, when they're like 25, like 24 or something, when they're like a little bit younger, so that way they have time to get to know the person, and then from that point on they can go ahead and get married and do all that stuff. But I think if you're rushing to the finish line when you just meet someone, even if it is in real life, you're gonna run into the same results. You can't rush the process.
Okay, so I think that I think you have a point. I also say that I do think that we do need to go back to more of a community-based way of matchmaking and dating. Because yes, I think maybe people should start younger, but I also think that people should probably move away from trying to figure it all out themselves. We, as humans, we have not evolved that much. Technology in the world around us has evolved drastically, but we're pretty much the same machines, or the same biological machines. And for thousands of years, arranged marriages and community dating has worked. So I think we should get back to some form of that. Maybe it's not your parents. Maybe you come from a single family household, or maybe one of your parents or both of your parents aren't the best to choose for you, or maybe you don't want your parents to choose for you. That's fine. Find through a friend of a friend, or through, I don't know, a colleague. I know you're not big on the whole work thing, but just community way of doing it, as opposed to, I'm going to just go talk to some person I see because she's attractive. And just hope that it works out. No.
Because you don't know that person. You don't know their history. You don't know how they act. And not only that, but like when people know each other, like when there's more, like for example, let's say you were to meet from a friend group. That person can't act that crazy.
Right.
Because they're all part of the same friend group. And someone in that friend group knows that person. And they're like, hold on, wait, you can't talk to that person like that. Like, we know each other. We're cool with that person. So like, there's more of a risk factor for your bad behavior.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it definitely makes sense. Like I think that is definitely like the winning method of all methods.
You brought a good point up too. That's another. Dang. So one of the best parts about like an arranged marriage is not even the bringing together the people.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it helps them stay together through trials and tribulations. Because if someone wants to leave or someone does something stupid, as long as it's not like abusing the person, the family members should be like, what are you doing? You're acting silly. Get back to your marriage, work it out. Versus nowadays, it's just two people that made their own individual decisions to get together. And if they're not happy in the situation, they walk away. Yeah. Versus if you get into that relationship, say through a friend group, you can have your boys check you like, dude, what do you like? You'll tell them the situation. If it's reasonable, you're like, hey, dude, relax, go figure it out. Don't walk away. That's too. You know what I mean? They'll talk you down. Or let's say it's your parent, your mom or your dad might say, let's say it's a woman, she finds a man and she's going through something where she's not happy because the man, I don't know, something happened, the man's not making her happy. And she goes to the mom, I want to leave him because I don't feel happy. The mom's going to say, simmer down. You're not meant to be happy. It's not all about being happy.
Yeah.
Work through this trouble. Whereas if the mom wasn't involved, maybe she just walk away. So there's that extra community pressure to keep people together, which I think is a good component of that versus I find you on a dating app. We meet in this fairy tale, 6 months of emotions. We have a kid, and then we realize we don't really know each other. We have completely different interests. We don't even like each other, and now there's a divorce, and boom.
I mean, pretty much 6 months of lust, and then after that, it's hell.
What a way to sum it up.
I mean, it just is what it is. And I think in America, I think we've gotten to the point where we're so unrealistic about happiness. I think happiness is the biggest lie that we tell people in America. Yeah. And I get it, because I think early on in life plays a trick on us. It's like when you're little, it's so easy to be happy. It's so easy. Like if you have nephews or if you have kids or something like that, you see how easy it is to make a kid happy.
Yeah.
Like, you could smile at them, the kid's automatically happy, the world lights up. We give them a bouncy ball, the world lights up. And then what happens? As you get older, it gets harder and harder and harder to obtain the same amount of happiness. So I get how some people can get tricked into thinking that you're always supposed to be happy. You're not. You're supposed to work for it. Yeah. Happiness is something you have to work for. Marriage is something you have to work for. I don't get the whole point of people wanting to get married, working so hard to get married, and then after they get married, they feel like they just shouldn't have to do anything. Like, it's just... And I think that's what marriage has become. Marriage has become a celebration for one day, and then after that one day, people are just kind of like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not happy.
Yeah. No, I think that's spot on. And again, that's just, like you said, it's we were tricked as children, and we were blessed to live in it, like at least we are.
Yeah.
We're blessed to live in a country a society to where our standard of living is much higher than people around the world.
Yeah.
And now add social media into it and these quick dopamine hits that we get from all over the place, whether it be social media, whether it be what we eat, sugar, we're used to quick dopamine hits, and we're used to, this is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So you're not used to being in something like once the butterflies die away and just working through marriage, or just being in like I don't want to call it boring, but just mundane.
It's not exciting.
Mundaneness.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be exciting. You're not supposed to be going on
No.
trips every other weekend.
No.
Like, I don't know why people believe, like,
Because of social media.
look at your family.
Right.
Did anyone do that in your family before? No. Like, no one did in the last 50 years.
Hey,
Like,
I'm related to Prince Mustafa, and we had a lot of money back home. So yes, I've seen it. We've taken trips. We own lions. We rode gazelles.
someone's actually going to think you're serious.
This is serious. I mean, we had it. We were like, you ever seen the movie Coming to America? It was like that. So life was great. And then I came to the U.S. No, I'm playing. But anyway, so I lost what I was saying. What was I talking about? Yeah. So you're right. Like, marriage is not supposed to be every day is a trip and every day is fun. But social media will trick you into thinking that, though.
Because you see all these couples like, oh, guess what we did today, and blah, blah, blah. They doing it for social media, guys.
Yeah.
So ultimately, guys, I'm just going to say I think in real life dating, or whatever you want to call it, speed dating, I think it's a good idea. But I think it's a good idea if you take it practically, you use common sense. You don't just meet someone for 3 months and then pressure them to get married within 2 years. I think that's stupid. So I think if you do it right and you take your time with it and you get to know the person, you get to know their family, then I think it's a good idea. That's it. That's what we go get.
Yep, I agree. I'm not the biggest fan of speed dating per se, but I do like the idea of meetups.
You been speed dating before?
Yeah, I've been speed dating before.
I've never been speed dating, so I don't know how it is.
Yeah, and even if I hadn't been to it, I still don't like the idea of it. To me, it's like a in-person version of a dating app. So I think meetups are better. I think community dating is better because at least you have an idea the person has some similarity to you.
Yeah.
Versus,
I agree with that. I mean, I don't think I'd ever speed date. Like, who knows? Maybe I might do as an experiment, take a camera with me and put it on for you guys to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't see myself ever doing it. It seems like just being interviewed by a bunch of random people for a job that I don't know if I want.
Right.
But
Facts. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think that I like this trend back towards this renaissance, if you will, back towards
normalcy. Being normal.
Yeah, I guess normalcy. Oh, just technology detox in a lot of different areas. And this is the one that's needed. So, yeah.
All right, guys, let us know what you think. Do you think in real life dating is better? Or do you like dating apps? You think we should go back to dating apps? All right, decision makers, stay off the dating apps.